guys. It's been such a long minute because I've been a little lazy, but back and I have a couple different people I'm going to interview this weekend on podcasts. Some of the drivers, some of them are trans individuals that are out here trying to make a difference in the world and keeping things positive and in the negative world that we have right now going on. So that's the main reason to sit here and open the dialogue and talk about things. So today's guest is Kasha, and she is someone that I knew from back in West Virginia that I knew through friends, I knew through watching shows and going out to the bars and different things. And then I follow her online. She always has these like positive talks where she's talking to family, friends, and people that follow her. And she does like a lot of really informative talks, very open about her life. And I just love people like that. So I would like to welcome her. So hi, Kasha.
Hi. How
But
are
things
you?
have changed a little bit. She's no longer in West Virginia, and she's
That's
switched things around.
yes,
So
yes.
you're
I
in
did.
Michigan now.
I am currently in Michigan now. I moved to Michigan last October, and so I've been here like a year and a month now.
So how did that all happen? What why Michigan?
Oh, why Michigan? Why Michigan? Everyone asks me that question. Why did you move to Michigan? And if anybody knows me, they know I'm gonna keep it 100. I moved to Michigan because let me tell you something. Weed was legal.
Okay.
Period. Weed was legal. Um, and where I'm from, back home in West Virginia, they frown up on you smoking weed in the professional
Hmm.
atmosphere.
Right.
So, like, I couldn't get a job. I couldn't work here. I couldn't do things, certainly, because I smoked weed. And it wasn't like I was out here pushing pills or I was shooting up or nothing like that. I was smoking weed to calm my nerves so I wouldn't be crazy for those people.
To deal with all them people out there. Yes.
That,
At the
right.
end of the
That
day.
part. They didn't understand.
So
I was trying to save them.
but actually, Michigan is a very friendly state for LGBTQ and different laws that they have in place, and
Mhm.
trans people, and
Oh, yeah.
they really are very friendly compared to a lot of other states and what's going on. So
Yes.
with all the turmoil and silliness in our country right now, do you feel safe in Michigan or where you're living?
Um, Honestly, I do. I feel more safe here than I did in back home in West Virginia. Only for the fact that, like Michigan to me it will always kind of come off as like the sanctuary city that they are, because they really truly are, and but it's just the people here. The people here in Michigan are wonderful. They're they say what they mean what they say, and they stand on their conviction. And there's no nice nasty to it. They don't know how to be nice nasty. They just either know how to be nice or nasty, one or the other, no in
Right.
between. And I think I respect them more for that. It's harsh because in the South, it's always bless your heart.
Bless your heart with that, yeah.
So the
With that little
Michigan.
subliminal message in the background. Yeah. So,
Yeah, yeah, that part with the bubble floating around your head. But Michigan is just, to me, it reminds me of, mm, like, there's some good and bad places, but it's like, for the majority of part, it's like nobody is better than the next person. I
right.
live next door to a black person here who drives a BMW. I live next door to a white person here who drives a Chevy Cruze or something, I do believe.
Right.
And there's mixed races in between. There's LGBTQ plus flags all throughout the every community that you go. There's not a street that you can't turn on and you not see a gay pride flag. And there's sorts of people that live right next to each other.
So you
You
just
would
feel
never
very
know that.
welcome then. It's like a melting pot of people and just a very
Oh
welcome
yes.
atmosphere,
Oh
you know.
yes. Yes. And it's close to Canada. So if anything really pops off, you know. baby.
I'm
They,
gone. No.
I'm gone. Look what I say. I'm gone. I will catch a bus, swim,
Right.
backstroke,
We'll do what
whatever
we
they
gotta
need,
do.
whatever we got to do. I'll see you over
So
there.
let's not forget all the other stuff. A lot of people may not know, about you or anything. So I want you to introduce a little bit and talk about West Virginia, because I know in West Virginia you did a lot of really good things, helping others and with different organizations and different things that you've done in your past. So I would like for you to talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Um, West Virginia was my stomping ground. West Virginia was my home base. I was born and raised in Kentucky, and my dad's side of the family is from West Virginia. My mom's side of the family is actually from North Carolina or South Carolina, and they moved to Ashland, Kentucky. So I decided when I got old enough, I want to move to my daddy's side, see what it's all about. And instead of moving to Huntington, where my dad
Hmm.
was his stomping ground, I moved to Charleston because Huntington was just too small for me. It was too close to home.
Right.
I could get back to my mama's house in 30 minutes or less. So I moved to Charleston, and I found the art of female illusion. And it went, and I found a drag mother who was wonderful. Her name is Alexis Carmichael. She was just everything. We don't speak like we used to, but that's because people grow apart. But she was just the ultimate drag mother, and she was a force to be reckoned with, and everybody knew it. So I was up underneath her wing, and I just started being a part of the community, started getting deep down into the community. Started working at the bar with her, and from working at the bar with her, that's when it became my journey of pageantry. um,
Mhm.
I ended up winning Miss Pride of West Virginia the very first time I ever went out for it, which let me believe and know that that this is something that I should be doing.
Right.
And with that being said, being in that being in the LGBTQ plus community back home, I started seeing change things that didn't set well within my soul. And it was, of course, the lack of diversity.
Right.
And um and and so um it's like, until someone speaks up about it, then they won't do anything about it. So I had to ruffle some feathers, and I got some bad publicity and press from it, but it's okay, because
Right.
those feathers needed to be ruffled. And shortly afterward, I helped MC the Rainbow Pride festivities for two years in a row, and would have been three. But I started the first Black Pride organization. We held strong for 3 years in West Virginia, but of course you know how West Virginia is.
Yes. Yes. And it's just like I don't live there anymore, and I'm in Florida. But when you see growth, and there is growth there, and there is things, but West Virginia, a lot of people, it's very competitive to live there, and
Mhm.
to be a queen there, to do things there. It is competitive.
Mhm.
Um, in every aspect of your life. I don't hate West Virginia at all. It taught me so many
No,
lessons and wonderful things, but it is one of the most competitive places to live when you think about the LGBTQ circle and everyone there, because
baby.
how they are. I mean, it's like they uplift you at the same time, but they also, you know what I mean? Like it's
I'm glad I made it when I did, because if it was up to me making it today, I would have never made it.
right.
I would have never made it. That's what you just said. I would have never made it, because
It's
they, yeah.
but it does teach you so many things. A lot of people, they'll ask me, "Do you miss living there?" Well, there's parts of it I miss. Um, I don't ever want to live there though. Again, I know that does that make sense? Like,
No, I get it. Like I no, because I tell people all the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, West Virginia is mm, West Virginia is so pretty. West Virginia is so beautiful. And I tell people that all the time. And it is. And it's peaceful. And let me tell you something. If I had to run for safety, I know where to go in the heels. You know what I mean?
The
We
back
know.
holler. Yeah, we know where
We
the
know
hollers are.
we know where they is. So
We
if I have
do.
to run if I have to run for safety, baby, like I said, it's either Canada or it's the heels. I
Mhm.
know where to go. I don't have to I don't even have to worry. But it's it's the it's the contentment that it has
Mhm.
set in these people in West Virginia. It's the I'm content with being okay. Um, in the LGBTQ plus community and the black community and the black LGBTQ plus community, they're okay with being okay. They're
Right.
okay with as long as they don't ruffle feathers and they do walk the straight and narrow, then guess what? They're going to look like one of the good gays.
Right.
They're going to look
Right.
like one of the good black folk. They're going to, so don't ruffle no feathers or you ain't going to get that corporate dollar.
That's one of the things I remember working at the hospital, and a girl I walked in, and there was a girl that was she was always being harassed for being a lesbian. And I don't
Mm.
know why. It was just this it was the goody two shoe girls, all the other ones that was like the perfect hair with their little tumblers and all their little stuff, and they all were anyway. And she was adorable, but she always would get like harassed or not invited to anything with the
Eh,
hospital. The little cliques that happen, and
yes.
that happens everywhere. But you know, and I remember our boss, who was a gay man, who told us the best way that you can advance at the hospital here is to put your head down, not open your mouth, come to work every day, and just go forward. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be here very long. Because that's not me. You know what I mean? No, that is not me.
Baby,
So,
do you know how many gay allies in West Virginia wouldn't hire a black trans woman whose credentials were amazing? Before
right,
I was trans, I had already been a manager of several different businesses and bartended at several different places. Made server of the year back home. Started managing restaurants at the age of 16. And but when I transitioned, it was, oh no, she don't know how to bartend. All she knows how to do is dance. And that's what they thought they was going to do. Was put a quarter in my back and make me dance. And that was
right.
all I was good for. I wasn't good to work at the restaurant. I wasn't good to work for here. There were a few places that gave me opportunities, but it was still the toned downness of myself that I had to do in order to
Right.
work. But it was in order to survive.
You couldn't be your true self.
I could never be my true self if um I I I I I take this back when I moved to Ashland. I moved to Ashland back home to Ashland, Kentucky because I was in a dark space, and I moved back home to Ashland from Charleston, and I worked at a place, and the lady let me be my true, authentic self because she just loved the girls. She loved the
Mhm.
girls. And when she found out that she had hired a doll, she just was like, I don't care, honey. You come to work however you want to. And so each and every day, I kind of like transitioned. It was like each and every day I did something more. My boobs got bigger or my hips got
So how
wider.
did you? So I'm going to ask the million-dollar questions of for you and transitioning. How did you know? Did you always know, or was it something that
Yes.
just happened? Because
I've always known. I've always known. I've always okay, first and foremost, pink has always and forever will be my favorite color. Okay. Pink. Pink. And my mama knew then at that moment in time there was something going on because anytime I would ask for something, I would ask for pink. And in the black community, being gay is definitely not happening.
right?
So they tried their damnedest. But I had an auntie. I love her. God rest her soul. My aunt Connie. Woo, honey. Let me tell you something. She knew. And they knew not to mess with her because she would read them for filth. And she knew. She was like, bring them over here because they're gonna spend the night with me. I could spend the night with my Aunt Connie on the school night, and I would go over there, and she had bought me a pink jam box, and she
Oh
said, "Now, if you
wow.
want to take it home, you can take it home." She bought me a pink TV. She bought me a pink bike. The things that I couldn't take home, she told me I kept there at her house. But my Aunt Connie was the lady that told me that showed me, you be who you want to be. I see you. You're still a good person. And so
Right.
I gravitated to that. Like I knew, I've always known, and I was always wearing trying to wear my mom's heels when I would, she'd be gone, or I'd always, play in my sister's stuff when she was gone or something like that. And every song I sang, honey, was Whitney Houston. So you could tell me I went Whitney, honey. So it was the things that I knew in my soul. I But I also knew that living in the South, that I could not do it. I wasn't strong enough yet.
Right. So you had
And
to find you was always there, but you had to find yourself and let it out.
I had to find the strength to let it
Mhm.
out.
Okay.
Being, like I said, being black and LGBTQ, it could, your uncle can be gay as hell and everybody in the family know it. And but nobody talk about it. That's a black community. Nobody will ever mention it. And they'll do stuff like put a bunch of girls in front of them, or if your cousin is gay and she's a lesbian, they'll put all kinds of guys in front of her. That's the South. That's how they do. That's their way of,
Right.
saying, honey, you're not gay, you just haven't found the right one yet. You know how it is.
Right.
So they'll throw you in these parties with all these, and you're like, is this an intervention? Like, what?
Well,
What's
so
going on?
I have these talks because we have so many drivers. So imagine being a truck driver and going across this country, and a lot of people don't think about it, but when I started the organization years ago, I started meeting all these drivers, and I met people, and there was all these amazing people, and gay people, and trans, and lesbians, and I just was like, I thought, backwoods West Virginia, I thought coming in, all the truck drivers going in bib overhauls and a flannel and some
Yes.
boots. You know what I mean? We're just
Yes.
used to that. So that's I know it's a bad way to think about it, but it's just what you think about
Yeah.
when you think
Yeah.
about a truck driver. So
Yeah.
when I came into trucking, though, I was like, could you imagine? Like I met people that were big old hoodies, and they were transitioning in their truck. They were having surgeries and feminization surgeries, and I was like, I could not imagine this. I could not imagine getting out of breast implants and like feminization surgery. Literally, I had someone that had the whole staples, the whole face done, like dropped the hairline, and the nasal plasty stuff done, and I was like, and then the next week they were literally all bruised up and sitting in a truck with a hoodie driving down the highway with staples and everything. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine someone doing that. So
Yes.
we have a
Yes.
lot of people, and that's why it's important to interview people, is because we have a lot of people who are not comfortable with who they are yet and
Oh,
haven't
yes.
been able to let themselves out yet to find themselves completely. And so when we talk to people like you that are more comfortable at a stage in your life of just being your authentic self, it helps them. It helps them, understand. And so that's the reason I do the interviews. It doesn't matter if someone's a driver or not a driver. You inspire me. I love listening to your little snippets from the porch. I watch you, and and I'm not trans, but it inspires me when I see people living their best life,
Oh,
and
cute.
that's a good. It's just a good thing, and so that's what I was like. You know what? I'm gonna see if she'll be on the show.
You
So
know, I really honestly, it's just, I don't want anybody to ever feel like you don't belong. Like, and people, I've been the same way since I was a kid. I'll tell you this. I've been this person since I was a kid. I've always been nice. I've always been at, looking out for others, for the underdog, because I'm black first. That's something that um, I've been trying to get people to understand, that whiteness carries a privilege that blackness will never, ever, 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 ever see, ever.
Hmm.
And so I had that on me when I woke up every morning, and I had to go out here and face this world, regardless if somebody's going to call me the N word today or not, just for being nice to them, just for saying hi, just for being polite. So I had to learn, and and with learning that every day, I try to push that out there to people. I try to let people know you belong here. This is your space too. Shit, if the truth be told, they would say you belong here before I did. But I want you to know that at the end of the day, not only will I fight for you with this, I'll throw these hands, because I'm not afraid anymore. Like I told someone the other day, Democrats carry guns too. I'm not afraid anymore. I
Hmm.
know how to use my voice. I know how to stand up. I know how to stand up for my sister right here. If you come over here and think you're going to mess with me, you'll be practicing. Exactly what you'll be doing is practicing, because I know how to stand up and say what needs to be said, and speak for those who can't, and be the shield for those who can't. I will
Right.
do that. And we need more people to be the shield for those people who are afraid, who are locked up, who are afraid to transition, who are afraid to come out. There's a lot of people back home in West Virginia that are detransitioning. And oh,
Right.
the joys of that privilege.
You know.
But still yet, those are the same people that I'm supposed to uplift, the same people that are trying to exclude the T and the Q out of LGBTQ plus. Like, I don't understand. But also are the same the same people that dress up in drag as soon as Halloween hits around.
Right.
So
You
it's
know,
like,
it's like
yeah,
for me, it's like I love Pride. I do, and I love being prideful. But Pride for me, we didn't do anything this year during Pride Month, and there was a reason behind it. Is because I was like, my life is Pride every day. It's 365. Pride is not 1 month, and we put some of the regular posts up, but we really did not do. I didn't do any events. I really didn't go anywhere for Pride. I was like, you know what? I live Pride every day. Like I live my life as a gay man and being outspoken and like you talk, putting a shield out for others and standing up. There's people all the time. I get death threats all the time. I get people that tell me that they're going to kill me. I get, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like it's not going to stop me from doing anything that I'm doing.
yeah,
You know, I have drove. We're getting ready to rewrap our truck again. We had two different Pride trucks that we've done, and we're getting ready to do another Pride truck here soon in the future. And people were like, "Oh, with all this stuff going on, do you think it's the right time?" It's always the right time.
doesn't that make you so mad? Don't that irk
Like,
you to the core? Don't you think you should wait? Don't you think you should just wait a few more months, or what? Is this the right time?
and the people that's doing it is from our community.
Of course it is. It always is. It always is. Those are the same people that are waiting for me to throw a brick. Okay? Those
Right.
are the same people that are back there waiting for me and my Puerto Rican sister to throw a brick, because they won't. Because if
Right.
they throw the brick, they're afraid that somebody might see them throw that brick and that they might lose everything that they got going for them.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. I just
woo, baby, that makes me, I get very fired up about it. I get very fired up about the fact that
I'm not gonna crawl back under a rock anywhere.
I'm not.
No, I'm not going to be hidden. I'm not going to be in a closet somewhere. I'm not going to. No. If anything, I'll be more visible than I ever was before.
Who are you
But that's just
telling?
me.
Who are you telling? I don't have the time to go backwards. Black people have come so far, and Black trans women have come so far to only go backwards. You have got me twisted. I'm here to tell you, you come over here, you'll be practicing, like I said, because I don't have it to do. I don't.
You know, we do have a couple other friends and a couple organizations we work with, and you may have never heard of them before, but we do have African American Women's Trucking Association. So that's AAWTA. And I know a lot of people over there and the president there as well. And so I'm going to talk to her a little bit because I think that it would be great for them to have you as a guest there as well, just to talk, because I think that would be very informative to them. And maybe you could get involved in a different community that you really probably didn't even know was there, because most people don't think about the trucking industry. And it's so weird because you'll understand this.
Are they LGBTQ friendly?
Huh?
Are they LGBTQ plus friendly?
Yes, 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 very much so. But I will tell you, as a performer, and you'll understand this. I know you will. Some people will not, but you will. As a performer, it's very hard. I myself was a performer. I ran for Miss Pride in '99, so ever ago. But and in West Virginia, I was Miss Polo Pride in Huntington, and then I was Miss Huntington at large, and anyway, a couple other, whatever. But that was forever ago. But you will understand how hard it is, as a truck driver. It's very hard to maintain a relationship because you're always moving, you're always doing things, and your life is so private, but yet it's also so. And I relate that to the same as an entertainer. As a performer, you understand this. Your life is so private in the background. No one cares. You're an object on stage that people look at, and some people fantasize about or whatever. And it's very relatable to trucking because as a performer, it's so hard to have a relationship with someone that respects the job that you do. And the same as a truck driver, it's hard to have a relationship with someone that respects the job that you do. And like, I know that it doesn't seem like that those two things would have so much similarities, but it really does.
Yes, it
It, it,
does.
and you can make both good money on both of them as a driver. But as a driver, all these drivers, they drive through town. Most people don't think about who's behind that wheel at all. That's why I do interviews, because I'm like, they don't think that there's a lesbian couple in the truck. They don't think there's a gay couple. They don't think that there's a trans woman in there or a trans man, and they don't care. Their objective on the highway is big scary truck. Let me punch the gas so I can get by really fast. And they don't think about the driver. And those people are moving through the middle of the night, 24 hours a day, and they're bringing all your products, all your Amazon, your Temu, all that stuff is coming on a truck. That's how it gets. It's how it gets here. But
I tell you, I tell people all the time. A lot of the times when I was coming up into the drag community, a lot of people would make fun of me because I wouldn't always have the best of the best. And it's because, being Southern, I like to keep my business to myself. That's what we do. We keep it to ourselves. What goes on in the family stays in the family. You don't tell nobody all your family business. And people would never understand. And now that my child is older, I can explain. I had a child, and my son was still young when I first started entertaining. So all the money that I had, that I would achieve, would go to pay child support or his birthday parties, or he might need pants, or he might need shoes or shirts. And I had to make sure that he got those. So I had to be a parent before I was a queen. And I got dogged so much. Oh, well, she don't have this, or she looks ghetto. But they didn't never understood that is all the tips that I've worked so hard, all the hands I wrapped my arms around, and hugs I gave people, and people that I let tip me in my breast. They didn't understand those dollars was going towards even better cause, which was my
right,
back. So I get what you're saying. Like at the end of the day, you don't know what our money is, or you don't know what we're doing. You don't know that 9 times out of 10, half of the trans women have to start off in drag or street work in order to make the money that they make, that they get. Y'all don't understand.
You're
You
starting
better
to break up a little bit. Your phone's starting to break up just a little bit.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Here.
you. Okay.
Yeah, but I decided to come outside to report it, and of course, um, the lawn people decided to come and trim the trees next door.
Yeah, it's still breaking up a little bit, but um, it's that's the importance of some people don't understand because we keep our things private. You were working to provide for your child, and you were working hard to do that. And when doing that, you know, um, you of course weren't going to tell everybody, hey, this, or what I'm exactly doing. I'm sure you told your close friends and your close circle, but when it came to like, everybody else, but it's like it's just a struggle of things. It's a struggle of life and doing something. So
It really
like today, how to if you don't mind me asking, how is your relationship with your family and your son and
is. My family, we're doing okay each and every day. My family actually just came up and visited me in Michigan, which was a wonderful treat. I got to finally get my mom out of Kentucky, which is a good thing. And my son and I, we talk, but he's still my son. He's a young adult right now, and he's going through his little, things and phases and stuff. It's not because of my transition. It's just because we don't agree on a couple of things, of issues, and it's okay. But for the most part, my family, they love me and they respect me. They're still not when they're in front of me, they address me correctly. But when they're away from me, I know that they don't.
okay.
I know that they still call me by my dead name, and they don't respect that part of me. So I just I equate that to me being a Libra. Libras, we end up living a lonely life. We want to help everybody. We want to give. We want to do everything, but we're usually generally by ourselves. And
Yeah.
and
So
it's my loan that I'm living with.
so since being in Michigan, now what are you doing? How is life and
Well, Michigan, I'm actually just moving and shaking. I'm meeting lots of couple people. I work for a couple of different organizations. I work for a wellness center here in Michigan, which is wonderful. I also work for one of the LGBTQ plus, the main LGBTQ plus centers here in Michigan. I work there as well as a facilitator. I get to really still get involved with the LGBTQ plus community, but in my own way and on my own terms. And actually I'm getting ready to put together the first Black Girl Magic show. You know me, I like showcasing my women of color. So I'm going to have a Black Girl Magic show on November, it should be Thursday, November 20th. I do believe it's supposed to be Thursday, November 20th. But I know it's on November the 20th at 8 o'clock. And yeah, I'm tiptoeing through the tulips, trying to make my way, trying to meet people, to say hi, to show my true authentic self. Sometimes they don't always take it because,
right,
like I try to explain to people, the South is so much different than the North. We don't be all up in your business. If you have bad business, we just tune out. You know how we are, and like we tune out. And let's go find some sunshine to get into.
right,
Like I ain't got this to do, and it's a struggle because in the North, everyone is so involved in everything. They're in
right.
so they have so many causes that they're involved in. I don't understand how you live life if you're so involved in every cause that comes across. You know what I mean? You need to stop being involved in all these causes and stop and take some time to live your life. You know what I mean?
Right. And
And that's
focus a little bit more.
yeah,
Yes.
focus a little bit more. Take one cause, focus on that, and run with it. And nobody's saying that you can't take more than one cause, but there's so many people get involved in so many causes that they really forget about their life and about what needs to be. The house, how's your household running? How's this and that running? You're here. You're every day. I see you over here. How are you taking care of the things that need to be taken care of in here? If you're too busy taking care of all of these causes. So take some time for yourself, breathe, relax, take some time and do the things that you can do because let me tell you something, you cannot fix the world. You can't. You can try, but you can't, and you'll kill yourself trying. So just take some time.
That's a problem I have. I'll be honest. That's a problem I have. I see so much and I see so many people that I would love to help. Love to help, and but I had to choose like one area. There's moments where it's like, it is overwhelming because I just want to help everyone but I know I can't. You know what I mean? Unfortunately,
Okay.
I can't help everyone. And then you also can't, it's something I've had to learn. You can't help someone that doesn't want to help themselves or doesn't see a problem. You know, it
That's
it's a hard lesson to learn and a hard pill to swallow because you'll see someone and then you have some of those friends and some of those people that they say they want help or they say they want to do something, but they have that broken pattern that they never get out of. And they know what they're doing is wrong. And they already know they'll ask for advice or they're asked for something, but you can tell them 100 times. They're still going to go straight back and do the same thing. So those are hard lessons to learn. And I think you learn them in life. We all do. We all have friends. We all have people that, come into it's like the whole season thing. They're in your life for a season and they kind of just flow through. And I love that statement when they say that because it's true. It's hard to accept. It's hard to accept
that is the
because
problem. It's hard to accept. I don't like accepting it because I love people. I love people so much, and I hate it when people come in my life for a season, and I really fucks with you. Like it really messes with my soul because I don't want you to be in my life for a season. I want you to be in my life because I chose you. You know, I get emotional because the thing that I try to explain to my parents is that, my gay family, I got to choose. And I was proud that I
Mhm.
got to choose him. So if I choose you to be in my life, and if I choose you to tell a story, I choose to tell you some things that might be personal to me, it's because I chose you. And then when you come into my life for a season and then you're gone, it's like, man, I just told you some of the most intimate parts of my soul, and now you're gone. And it's like, I hate.
You love hard. You love hard. And that's me. I love hard and then I see something in someone. Does that make sense? Like I will see something in someone that they don't even see in themselves. And I don't want to let it go. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
no.
Like I will see a beautiful side of someone and everyone's like, "Oh, they're a thug, they're a gangster, they're this, whatever." You know what I mean? And I can remember being 16 in Huntington and pulled over at the rallies and they like literally laid us all out on the ground. Okay? And there was an Asian boy in the car with me. There was a black boy beside of me and another black boy in the back and then another little white boy and then me, and they literally was like they pulled us, and I know it's a different time, but they pulled us out of the car. They laid us all down the concrete sidewalk and stuff there, and they pulled us two white boys to the side and said, he was like, "No, you're the driver of the car. Now, why are you hanging out with these other people?" The cop did, and I was like, "Because they're my friends. I've never seen color." Does that make sense? I don't care. I do care, but like I don't see the color of anyone. I don't.
And the correct response to that, you do see color. You do see color. You do see color. You don't. let me see, because I try to let people explain this. When you say
Right.
you don't see color, then you're saying that you don't see this, and you do
Well, I
see this.
do, but
You do see this. So when you say you don't see color, in other people's eyes, and especially in black people's eyes, it's
right.
telling us that you're saying that you don't see us. So I don't know what's the right response for people to say, because it's not my place but it is my place to let them know you do see color. Because if you
Okay.
don't see all this color, then there's an issue. Because there's color right here. All this melanin is right here in front of your face. And I know you see it.
I
So
guess for me, it's just like it's just not a part when I'm making a friend. The color of someone's skin doesn't it
it's
that
not an
doesn't
issue. It's
it's
not
not an
a
issue for me.
prerequisite. Yeah.
No, it's
No.
not. So when I say that, maybe okay, I understand exactly what you're saying by me saying that. So I apologize about that, but it's just
Just
like
now you
that's not
know.
it's not something I think about. When I see a friend or I make friends with someone, I do not think about the ethnic background, the culture. Now, I love the ethnic background. Look, I've been in someone's kitchen having chitlins and all kinds of fried green tomatoes. And
You
look,
better than
I
me. You better
like
than me, because I ain't eating nobody's chitlins. I ain't nobody's fried green tomatoes. I ain't
I've tried it all.
nobody. You
Down in
better than me.
Alabama, they have this
Uh-uh.
drink called Kiki Poo that they do in Alabama, and it's like this syrupy whatever Kool Aid.
Oh no, baby. No, no, no.
But
I'm a
I have
Southern
tried
girl,
all this
right?
stuff.
I'm a Southern girl, but I'm from the South. I'm from Kentucky, from West Virginia. That
Not
part
that
of the
southern. Okay,
South. That part of the South.
but
Okay.
like, I just, I don't know. I don't think of people as like what their culture is. When I'm making friendships, I'm just making a friend.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just making a friend and a person that it didn't matter to me if they were Asian or black or what. That
Exactly.
didn't matter to me at all. But you know, I can always remember that. I remember this cop pulling us to the side, and I always felt bad ever since then. Like I know it wasn't my fault. You know what I mean? But like, and the cops were just being asked because we were basically coming from the Stonewall and Driftwood back in the day with fake IDs and forever ago. Anyway,
I get it. I get it.
and we were out late, and it was a school night the next morning, so we still was licking our hand stamps off the next morning. We were waiting, you know what I mean? Like getting the stuff off and taking our bracelets off because we're going to school late the next morning. I mean, we all did it back in the day, but
Anyway,
I will never forget that experience that someone thought that I shouldn't be friends with somebody because of the color of their skin.
no. Now
And
it's
I
a
just
different world. They cancel you for the things that you say or the things that you might have said, or you don't get a chance of redemption. It's just you said it, you're canceled. You did it, you're canceled. You did, you're canceled. Nobody gets a second chance at redemption nowadays, and that's the thing. Ageism is a thing. Like I said, cancel culture is the biggest thing of them all. Between ageism and cancel culture, those are the biggest things right now. It used to be that those things. It used to be a lot about race. Now it's about, oh, well, you said this, so that you're not a good person. You don't know that. Just because I don't
right.
agree with you doesn't mean that I'm not a good person. Just because we don't agree eye to eye on certain things don't mean I'm a good person. Maybe you should reevaluate some of the choices and the things that you did before you decided to say some things and do the things that you did. But don't just automatically discredit me. Where does your values start infringing upon my values? At the end of the day. So it's like, you just you gotta stand strong and firm in your conviction, and don't let nobody try to make you, because people will back you into a corner. People will back you into a corner, and being a strong black woman, I ain't gonna allow them to back me into a corner. You ain't gonna have the chance, and you don't give them the chance. But always stand up for what you believe in. Always stand up and speak out real loud and real strong, and just tell it like it is. They might not want to hear it. They might get uncomfortable when you start talking about your black friends and your black friend trans issues. They get so uncomfortable, but you see it in their face. So what? You're uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable my whole entire life, and I've had to walk in it.
But
You
this is
walk
how
in
you
it.
learn. You
That's how
learn
you.
by listening. You
That's
learn
right.
by educating yourself on topics. I want to know. what people are thinking. I want to know, and maybe I'm just different, but like I want to hear a black trans woman's opinions on things and what it's like for her to live and the obstacles that she faces. I hate that you do have to face obstacles. You should be able to just live freely as you are and it shouldn't matter. But at the same time, if we don't educate ourselves and talk about these subjects, then people are
Mhm.
just going to go through life acting like these things never happened.
Right. And it's our own people first. It's always,
Right.
always, always the gay community or the black community or the black gay community. And I'm just like, why is it always our people first? Why is it our people that we have to convince first? That's some bullshit. It's like
Right.
you have to convince the gay community before you convince everybody else. And that is craziness to me. It's like they'll cancel. But we can go on for days for this, but we ain't got
We
it to do.
can't.
But we ain't got it to do. But but I appreciate you. I thank you. I thank you for having me here on your show and just letting me say the things that needed to be said. I do my show. It's called The Undeniable Truth. I say the things you want that you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But
Mhm.
yeah, have some coffee and just talk about life. Talk about good things. Talk about bad things. Talk about who's doing what, when, where, and how. But
Right.
keeping it 100 complete authentic.
And that's, how I literally just started watching, and we've been friends forever on
Mhm.
Facebook and stuff. And I started watching, and then I watched a couple more times, and I was like, okay, this could work, And so, but I found it important, and I found it,
Thank you.
a breath of fresh air would be the best way for me because
Thank
I've went through a lot of stuff over the last few years of changing my life and
you.
releasing and letting go of things,
Mhm.
and that's a hard thing to go through. But when you see someone, and that's just what it was for me. It was kind of like it was just like me. I knew that I was doing the right thing. It was something you had said one day. You were sitting on the porch and you were talking about a bunch of stuff that was going on in our country, and some of the hate people was back and forth and all this stuff and the stupid stuff on Facebook, and I was like, no, she's right. Like this is exactly why we do what we do, is for people to know. And even if someone had said something, someone didn't like what you had said or something, and you were like, baby, I don't care. This is me, and and you were just going to continue doing what you're doing. And I was like, no, that's exactly why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's exactly why I do what I do.
Don't care.
And
Don't
so
care.
that's where I was at,
Don't
and I was like,
care.
no, no, we need to chat more, me and her, and
Yes, I do. And anytime, feel free to anytime to get a hold of me. Like I said, I don't try to make anybody feel uncomfortable, but I try to explain to people, black trans women have been around far longer than they think. And black people have always, there's something that I can never do for those people who are detransitioning and for those
right.
people who are going back. You're going back with your whiteness. You're going back into that. And so what? You might not want to hear it. Suck it up.
Right.
Suck it up. You're such a tough person. Suck it up and listen to it because just it needs to be said. And I'm not being mean. I'm not being hateful. I'm just being truthful. At the end of the day, your protection, your whiteness has protections that my darkness and blackness will never. And you have to start realizing it. And once you do realize that in the gay community, in the black community, in the black trans community, not black trans community, but the black gay community, everything will be a whole lot better. Period.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, I definitely want to ask you to come back a couple of times. We do a couple different things throughout the year, so I'll definitely have you come back for a couple other shows.
Give me a
We
shout out.
do, yeah, we do every year we do a trans panel show where we have 5 or 6 trans
Cool beans.
individuals come forward, men and women, and they talk about their transition and things like that. And I think that you would be great to be on that. And then we do the a Women's Appreciation Week, and I always include trans women in that as well because I just am that person. And
Thank
again, things like that I've gotten hell for because they're like, oh, well, but whatever. I
you.
don't.
And we
So yeah, we
appreciate it. Mhm.
definitely will have you back. I thank you so much on
Thank
everything.
you.
And we will come to see you in Michigan because, like, basically we go
Come
all over
on,
the country doing different things. So maybe one of
come
the
on,
pride events or something up there that you find out about,
come
if you see
on.
something, we'll come up there. We'll come up there and set up a booth and educate people.
Yes, we'd
So
love to have you. And I'll be right there at your booth talking about, look at these people's right here. Come on, come on.
all right, well, thank you so much, and you have a
And,
good day.
and you have a
Bye,
wonderful
everybody.
day. Bye.
Hi, everyone. So before I close out today, I'm just going to talk to you a minute. I know that things are crazy in our country right now, and there's a lot of hate going on, a lot of things going on, and I don't even fully understand all of it myself. I really don't understand this side, that side. Everyone is upset at this moment. So I just want to say an extra special message that everyone, please um, protect yourself. And just we've had a lot of people reaching out to the organization saying that they're scared during this time, or that there's a lot of hate going on, or and a lot of trans hate. And I just really want everyone to understand that we're here for you. We love you all, and we can help you get different services. We have people that we work with for psych services and 988, and then Project 4, Project 6. We have a lot of different people we work with, and alongside of. So if you ever need help, and even with our LGBTQ vetted page, if you we had to help a trans driver here recently who was having issues finding a job. She did find a job, but even with that, she was having issues with a perfect driving record and 25 years experience. So we are seeing an influx of drivers and an influx of people having issues with getting on at jobs, and people straight out just discriminating and they're having perfect driving records, everything's fine, but they don't want to hire a trans driver. So we have been helping as much as possible, and I do want to thank everybody for all of your help, which has helped that driver get a job and helped others. So again, if you haven't checked us out, LGBTQ plus Truck Driver Network, or LGBTQ truckdrivernetwork.com, LGBTQ vetted, and biggaytrucker.com, which is our podcast. So I appreciate you all for making it possible and for us to go on as many years as we have. Thank you all again, and have a good day, everyone.